Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode, another new series of What the Fartlek podcast after the finish line. Get my words out. I'm a bit rusty, so give me a bit of slack. Anyway, we're back again. They obviously liked what I was doing, so asked me back. I got my velvet blazer. I didn't get a haircut like I said I would because I've been a busy bee, but maybe I'll get that done ready for next week. And I've got two ladies on this week. I've got Lou and Sammy, two people from What the Fartlek podcast. I know you know Lou, she's on the podcast, and Sammy, the social media queen, puts all the posts out for you, and just moral support for Rob to keep him under wraps. Anyway, the reason why I've got these two ladies on this week's show, we had Jordan Foster, Project Marathon girl, and then recently she's had a baby, and Sammy has had multiple, shall we say, and one recently, and Lou has had one very, very recently. So I thought I'd bring them both on today and chat all things running and postpartum it is, and isn't it? That's how you say it, postpartum.
Yes.
Good. I got that confused on the actual podcast, so that's good. So how are you today, Lou?
Yeah, good. I didn't, and I should have asked before if I was like on screen now. So when you were talking, I kept listening and then being like, "Oh, smile! I might be on."
You're always on screen, Lou. Always on screen. And Sammy, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So, firstly, we start off with, before going into Jordan's bit about her running and all stuff like that. On the podcast this week, we spoke about adapting your training plans. So, if you sign up to race and you feel like you're not going to hit your goal because you've got an injury, or you sign up to a race and unfortunately gets cancelled, what are you going to do? And Rob spoke about the unfortunate events with Berlin Marathon. Obviously, you can't go there. Sammy, from your point of view, has anything like that ever happened to you before, or more specific, with it happening to Rob, do you feel he's done the right thing by coming to Chester? I know it would be really nice now because for your perspective, you can now train with him. So it might be not so much with him because you've got kids, but some runs you can do together, or you can help each other and chat about it. How did that whole experience go for you?
Yeah, so I've never had anything like that happen to me where I've had to change the goal of a race in particular for myself. But with Rob recently with Berlin, it is unfortunate. It's something he's been waiting to do for a long time now to go. And when he got that email, he was heartbroken. But to be able, he sort of had his 24-hour sulk, which he was entitled to. And once he sort of accepted it, there was nothing that was going to change. He just needed to refocus and find a new goal. And luckily, you know, Chester was a week after Berlin anyway. Me, you and Matt, we were already all signed up for it ourselves. So it was like it was meant to be, I felt. And when I said to him, Chester's available to you, book on it now. You can do your training plan along with Matt and Jack, I said, and with me, hopefully, you know, when we've got a sitter, we can do those long runs together, because our training plans at the moment are more or less parallel to each other. So it's available to us to do that when we have got childcare. And I think once he realised, actually, yeah, Chester's a go, he got really excited about it then, because it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be running with my friends. And I know Matt's had to change his goal because of his injuries, unfortunately, but he's now pacing Rob to that marathon, and he's so excited for it. And having you there and me there, and we've also got all the rest of the guys going as support, it's something I think now he's looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it is probably the best out of a bad situation. And with him, even if he came to support, I know saying this, he probably wouldn't have felt like he was missing out, but if he just came to support, he might have been like, oh God, I wish I could get that buzz with the race or like the post-race thing. But now he's going to be fully involved. And I mean, I'm glad to have him along, and glad something could sort out. Obviously, gutted he couldn't do Berlin because it's a wonderful place, but I know he'll get a chance again, and hopefully he can go back at some point and sort of smash a PB then. Actually, onto the Jordan chat. So she spoke, the one thing that I wanted to bring out was she spoke about the pressure of coming back to sort of fitness and running. And I know, Lou, very, very recently, you've had little baby Freddie, the youngest member of the Fartlek family. Have you had any pressure to come back to running or stuff? I know what you did. You had like a little break off social media, which Jordan touched on. Sometimes you can find a bit of pressure of that, which is good if you can just sort of like shut that away and be like, oh, I'm not going to pop anything on here for the moment, so people aren't expecting stuff. Did you find any pressure to come back to fitness, or was it just when you felt comfortable to come back?
Yeah, zero pressure at all. And I'm not running, and I'm not going to run probably for a while because I want to build up strength anyway. I didn't post on Instagram because I want that to stay as my fitness journey rather than look how cute my baby is. But I do give you the occasional look how cute he is because he is pretty cute. That wasn't the question, but I edged him in. But I felt no pressure at all. And I went back to fitness after 6 weeks when I was told I was allowed, because I needed to for my own head, I think, because it makes me feel better, have more energy. And when you're sleep deprived and eating beige food, I needed that little burst of energy, which is why I wanted to get back.
So you said once you're allowed to, did you want to, I mean, I don't know how it works. Could you have come back sooner, or would it have been sort of dangerous, or were you waiting for that go ahead? Were you itching to get back and waiting for that go ahead, or could you have come back?
Allowed to. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? No, it was from the doctors that I had a cesarean, which is like surgery. So you have your 6-week check, which was over the phone, but they just say, yeah, if you're doing it before, you can go ahead. I think before that, yeah, maybe as much as I wanted to in my head, my body probably wasn't ready.
Exactly. And there's no need to rush back anyway. And I think that's what Jordan said. She said there was a bit of pressure, and I guess with her as well, with what she'd done previously with the sub-3, she was itching to get back like proper, but a little bit of pressure of like coming back and times. And a bit on the times for you, Sammy, is Jordan also mentioned that she was struggling. She would do a couple of runs and be like, God, I'm never going to be back to the fitness levels I was at. And then eventually she went on and sort of did the Couch to 5K, which I thought was a brilliant thing to do, because I know runners say they don't have egos, but you'll have a little bit of an ego, and maybe going back to the very beginning can be a bit of a hit. But when you came back to running, did you ever have those days where you thought, God, I'm never going to be able to be as fit as I once was? Obviously you turned out and you actually sort of smashed everything, but did you ever have those runs, and how did you overcome them?
Definitely, all the time. When I went and did my first run post Harper, I went out so like naive, just being like, I'm going to go out, I'm just going to go and do 5K, and didn't do a build up of any strength or Couch to 5K or anything. I was just like, it's all in the back pocket, it's never gone away. I'm just going to go. And I went out and I managed 3K, and I was like, oh my God. It was like I was having an out of body experience. It was, my mind was there, but I was like, what is this body now that I've got? I didn't respect or understand. No, you need to build that fitness back up again. And once I did that 3K, I was happy I did it, because I think I was scared to go back out, because you do have that worry of how much you have lost. And when I went out and did what I did, I was like, okay, so I know where I need to work from now. And then Rob, bless him, he put a plan together for me, and I just built up from that. And there were runs where I'd be frustrated and disappointed, because I'd be like, I don't know why it's coming difficult to me. I'm very impatient. If I don't see results, I get really downhearted, and I beat myself up about it. And the old habit of comparing to yourself to people on Instagram, it's easily done all the time, and I fell trapped to that numerous occasions. So once I sort of took a step back and was like, look, you're not going to be the way you were before. You need to just take your time and build upon this, and it will come. And once I did and sort of relaxed a bit with it, I was actually like, I was getting PBs then all the time, and I was actually PBing better than what I was pre-pregnancy with Harper and pre-pregnancy with Harry. I was actually running better than I was ever, and that was all postpartum. And then I've just built it up from since then.
Yeah, just like naturally let it come. And not onto that, before I let you both go, Lou, I know you said there's not too much pressure to come back running, but you said you're really working on your strength now, and I think that will probably help when you come back to running, because when you run, you don't really do strength as much. So you focus on this will help you when you come back. When you do come back to running, have you got any plans to how your first run will be, whether it be a Couch to 5K run walk, or are you just going to try and go out there and see what happens?
100% not. Sam is an animal, and she said I've got some PBs. She was like insane PBs.
Yeah.
So well done, Sam. But I will do Couch to 5K. I'm going as if I've never ran before, zero pressure. And to be honest, I was running before, but I wasn't Mo Farah. So.
And lastly, will you be taking Freddie to parkrun when they're open and putting him in a pram and pushing him around?
No,
you're not going to be one of them.
No, I'll get him when he's ready. We'll like run together. That'll be cute. And the junior park runs.
That'll be nice. We got 4 years till he can do junior park run, but it'll be cute when he can do that. Anyway, I'll let you both go. Actually, I'll ask you one question because we always have it on the show. I'll go to Sammy first. What's your pre-race meal, pizza or pasta?
Pasta, because Rob makes it.
What about you, Lou?
Pizza, huge pizza.
Yay! I love a pizza. But I'm thinking about it. I do quite like a pasta sometimes. If it's a nice pasta with a bit of chicken and a bit of like spinach in there, then it's nice. Anyway, I'll let you both go. Thank you so much for coming along. Lou, I'll let you get back to Freddie, and he hasn't cried for this whole duration, so that's amazing. And Sammy, I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys are really enjoying this first episode of a brand new series of After the Finish Line, and perhaps you're enjoying the very first episode of Series 4 of the What the Fartlek podcast, featuring the lady who's with me today, Jordan Foster, who I managed to get back for some quick fire questions, a little bit of bonus content in case you want to learn a little bit more about Jordan. Jordan, are you ready for me to hit you with some questions?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's get started. First one, what is your favourite all-time race?
Ultra X Jordan.
Yeah,
not because it's
brilliant.
My name.
Yeah, not just that, but yeah. And you want to find out more about Jordan doing that, you need to get back on and listen to the podcast because amazing story and amazing race. Okay, are you a park runner?
Yes.
Favourite park run course?
Okay, I'm a park runner, but I'm a really boring park runner. I've not done loads and loads of different ones. Favourite one. I'm going to go with my hometown one because I've done it about 50 times, Peterborough.
Peterborough Park Run, absolutely brilliant. Hilly, flat?
Flat. Peterborough is very flat, yeah.
Flat. And is it a lapped one or just one lap?
They changed the course about 10 times, but it's a bit of a lap, bit of a half a lap, but yeah, it's
good fast flat one if anyone's in the area and wants a good time. Brilliant. Okay, so what is your go-to pre-race meal? So night before a race, what are you carving up on?
Pasta with pesto, peas, peppers, and chicken.
Very
done.
Specific. I love it. I'm done, ready to go the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the one piece of running kit that you couldn't live without?
My Garmin.
Yeah, agreed.
I know that's a boring answer, and I'm sure everyone says it, but yeah, if it's not on Garmin or Strava, then what's the point?
Yeah, did it even count? No, I love it. Okay, do you prefer running first thing in the morning or last thing at night?
First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning. And are you a scorching hot or a pouring down rain runner?
Scorching hot, which was handy in the desert.
I was about to say in Jordan, yeah, you'd absolutely need it. Okay, here's one for you. Stood at the start line, you're wanting that PB, it's a big race. What is that one song? What's that pump-up song that's going to get the adrenaline going, that's going to get you ready for that PB?
So one song that is always on every single running playlist is Galantis, Runaway.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always been one of my, as soon as I heard it, I was like, that is a brilliant running song, and it's been on every single playlist since. So yeah, I'd say that one.
Brilliant, good choice. And last but definitely not least, probably the most important one, I'm going to ask you, what is the one piece of running advice that you would give to aspiring or brand new runner?
Do catch to 5K.
Yeah.
And just enjoy it. Don't think that you need to do everything straight away. You don't need to run a marathon within the first year of becoming a runner to be a runner. You don't need to do a half marathon. If you love 5Ks, do 5K. If you love 10K, do 10K. Just do what you want to do and take your time, and don't get caught up in everything and think that you need to be doing a marathon every week for 2 years.
Sound advice, and thank you so much for coming back on and doing these questions with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, Jack, I've got someone else on the pasta boat. See, Jordan, Jack's pizza, I'm pasta, so we like to tally up who has more on their side.
Pizza is post-race, pasta pre-race.
Yeah, pizza and a beer post-race. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely 100%. So, guys, if you haven't checked out Jordan's episode yet, Series 4, Episode 1, why haven't you? Get yourself over to Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, wherever it is you get them. Have a listen, check it out. You will not regret it. Make sure you give Jordan a follow, Project Marathon Girl, on Instagram. But for now, Jack, it is back to you.
That is Series 2, Episode 1 of After the Finish Line wrapped up and done after we dissected Series 4, Episode 1 of What the Fartlek podcast. Thank you so much, Jordan, for recording the podcast and coming along and doing those quickfire questions. She's on the pasta boat, but it's quite a nice sounding pasta, so I'll let her sit on that boat, and I'll be on the pizza boat with my friends. Lou is on the pizza boat and Sammy is also on the pasta boat. Anyway, the pasta boat's getting a bit bigger, but the pizza boat's still taking trumps. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, because I'll be back next Saturday. Press the notification bell so you know when the episodes come out. Give it a thumbs up, comment, share with your friends. Let me know whether you're pizza or pasta, because you know I love that. And I will be back next week to dissect another episode of the podcast. Next week we have Nacho on, and you can catch up Thursday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your normal podcasts from. And with that being said, I think that's all I've got left. By the way, don't diss me for having my Liverpool shirt on. It was what I had on and I was rushing around, so I was like, I'm just going to wear it anyway. Don't diss me, but just remember, champions. Anyway, that's all. See you all later. Bye.